Many believe the Nazis were the first to discriminate against the Jews, and that they are the creators of anti-Semitism. This could not be farther from the truth. Anti-Semitism had been around long before Hitler, the Nazis, and even Germany. Ever since the birth of Christianity, Christian leaders had blamed the Jews for the death of Jesus. This idea was then taught to followers of Christianity. This means that this incorrect idea was engraved in the millions of heads of Europeans. During the Middle Ages, Jews were blamed for even more foolish crimes. Many blamed the Jews for the Black Death, therefore blaming the Jews for killing roughly 1/3 of the entire European population. Anti-Semitism escalated when in 1217, Jews were required to wear a yellow badge on their clothing in England, and in 1290, Jews were expelled from England altogether. In the 1920s and 30s, social issues put pressure on the Germans, and they wanted something or someone to blame for their crumbling country. Keeping with what seems to be a terrible tradition, Jewish people were targeted as ruining the country since they were different from the Christian Germans. This was despite the fact that many Jews had fought in World War I, and some were even awarded military honors. Even in the US, there was a tangible hatred of the Jews. During the war, the US State Department did everything in their power to revoke visas from the Jewish people fleeing Germany. And in a poll conducted in 1945, more than half said that the Jews had too much power in the US. In another poll, US citizens were asked what race or nationality was the biggest menace, and Jews ranked third, right behind the Japanese and the Germans. In the very early 20th century, anti-Semites in Russia created a document titled The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which described a fake meeting of Jewish elders whose goal was to take over the world. This was used as propaganda to justify violent riots and massacres against Jews called pogroms. The protocols eventually moved to Germany and was used as an anti-Semitic propaganda.
The violence of Kristallnacht began when Herschel Greenspan, a 17-year-old Jewish refugee living in Paris, had recently learned that his parents had been deported. Angered by the treatment of his parents by the Nazis, Greenspan decided to strike back at Germany. He entered the French embassy and attempted to shoot the German ambassador to France. However, he missed the ambassador and instead killed Ernst von Rath, the third secretary in the German legation. The violence began on November 9 through 10, 1938. German citizens attacked Jews all around the country, destroying shops, homes, and people. Many Jews fled the country following the attacks. Kristallnacht signaled a general shift in Nazi policy toward the Jews. Prior to Kristallnacht, the German government had dealt with its Jewish problem by compelling Jews to immigrate voluntarily to other nations. After Kristallnacht, the German government took a more direct approach that ultimately resulted in the Holocaust, a massive genocide of Jews and other people deemed undesirable or dangerous to the Nazi regime, both in Germany and its occupied countries.
In September 1935, Hitler believed the time was right to restrict Jews and create laws which were unanimously supported by the Reichstag to limit and further separate pure Germans from the Jewish people. These laws did things to limit Jewish rights, such as marriages between Jews and citizens of German or kindred blood are forbidden. Marriages concluded in defiance of this law are void, even if, for the purpose of evading this law, they are concluded abroad. Jews are forbidden to display the Reich and national flag or the national colors. A citizen of the Reich may be only one who is of German or kindred blood, and who, through his behavior, shows that he is both desirous and personally fit to serve loyally the German people and the Reich. Germany was far from being the first country to express anti-Jewish sentiment, with the idea dating as far back as the Middle Ages. However, anti-Semitism in 20th century Germany was much more than simply singling out Jews socially. It became a physical expression of hatred over the religious difference. Kristallnacht, the Nuremberg Laws, and more represent some of the terrible Jewish discrimination governmentally enacted in the 20th century Germany, which paved the way for the violent genocide of the Holocaust. After the Holocaust, many realized that the Nazis were, indeed, wrong in their message, and the fall of anti-Jewish sentiment began. The Holocaust-era Nazi Party was disbanded, and Germany returned back to a normal, fun country in Europe, full of luxury car manufacturing and lederhosen.